Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks. I just got home yesterday from Tankfest. It was a pleasure to meet all of you. I spent about 10 hours meeting you guys on the Saturday and Sunday, so much so that I didn't actually have a chance to see any of the World War II tanks in the arena. But it was a lot more fun meeting you guys. Thank you so much for being so respectful. Hopefully you thought I was open and honest and you enjoyed the time we spent together. So, I digress. This replay should be focused on SKE, who is playing in the Tier 10 Japanese medium tank, the STB-1. This has got to be one of the strongest, if not the strongest, all-round Tier 10 medium tank in the game at the moment. Now, why is that? Well, it's got an insane rate of fire, 7.5 rounds a minute, rate of fire with a 105mm gun, which means that it can pick apart its opponents very, very quickly. But that's not really all. It also has great gun depression. 10 degrees of gun depression. So that means that if you manage to get yourself into a position like this, you should have an ambush shot off over a ridgeline and an unexpected heavy tank that makes his way by. Oh, there he is. It's just a shame that the accuracy of this tank, the aim time's a little long, means that you don't always connect your shots as accurately as you would in another vehicle. And so 258mm of APCR penetration didn't manage to get through the side of the IS-7 there, but his second shot goes right through the IS-4. Now SKE is playing with two Batchats on his team, Yudashi Boy and a Balesund. Fantastic. They are in a powerhouse platoon here. They are all fantastic players, at least statistically, and from watching this replay it looks like they play very well together. The IS-4 bounces a heat round off the STB-1 turret, and unfortunately SKE is getting a bit of a dodgy start to this game. He's getting rather unlucky with where his shells are hitting. Not that one, however. The heat round goes right through the cheeks of the IS-4 when an IS-4 is angling at 45 degrees to you. Just like that. His frontal plate is quite strong and his side armor is even stronger. So that means you have to shoot his cheeks, especially when you're shooting down on them. And it's completely overkill to use 330mm of heat penetration this tank gets to go through the Tier 10 Soviet heavy tanks armor. Now they're in a bit of a situation here. There's an AMX-30 and an AMX-1375 opposite them. Now, the Batchats do very, very, very badly on ridge lines. They're pretty much useless in this situation unless they do this. Right over the top they go, going full in. Look at that AMX-13. He's out the game already, but a T-57 Heavy, a fantastic counter to a Batchat, is peering over the edge and ripping apart. Balesund goes down. Now a Tortoise is there as well. Another tank that you don't want to have. The T-57 Heavy is reloading. He shouldn't be the focus right now. The focus should be the Tortoise. The Tortoise doesn't quite manage to take out Yudashi Boy, and that allows SKE to be the support tank. Now the Batchats went all in, and the STB-1 is just doing a fantastic job on the ridgeline behind them. And they are ripping apart their opponents very quickly indeed. A rather messy fight there for both teams. I'm not sure if this platoon feels like that was worth it. Fair enough, I guess they took out a Tortoise, they took out the Tier 9 French medium tank, the AMX-30, and an AMX-1375, but was that worth it for the entirety of a Batchat and most of the hit points of that Batchat as well as this T-57 Heavy going down, most likely being poked from the side by that E-75. SKE figures his time now to pull back, and the artillery narrowly avoids him. That would have certainly changed things. The STB-1 has got pretty darn good frontal hull armor and turret armor as it is well angled. It's not very thick, but the angling means that you're still in with a chance of bouncing. Unfortunately, the T-57 Heavy plows around the corner and takes out his remaining buddy. Yudashi Boy goes down, but SKE gets the revenge kill for his buddy. So talking about the STB-1 again, the frontal armor is rather good, especially when we're on a ridgeline. We don't have time, actually, as an E-75 comes up, gets an ambush shot off, and SKE didn't look like he had quite the gun depression to shoot the lower plates of the E-75 there, but his second shot goes right in. And he's wanting to secure these shots. He is firing heat. These 330mm are going to butter the lower plate of the E-75 repeatedly. Now he bounces a shell from the E-75, and that's lovely. Whenever you bounce a shell in the STB-1, you can be pretty sure that you're going to get to fire 2 shots at your opponent because of that 7.5 round rate of fire, I should say, a minute advantage. So even though he misses the first shot, he knows he's going to be able to put the first one in and surround the E-75 with some rather nice mobility. Great move there. It was a 50-50 whether he was going to roll high enough. Puts a blind shot in there. Not quite sure if that damaged the T-54 as well. But yeah, a great play there by SKE. A bit of unluckiness with his rounds there. I think he would have done better with an APCR round there, probably on the side of the T-54. This game is an absolute blitz. It's all over the place. But really what's happened is that while the game is completely even, his team are surrounded, and that's never a good thing. They've taken the base. They're wolf-packing that E-75 over there. So SKE decides he's going to go after the Jagdtiger and try and make an attack to the south. I'm not sure about this play. I always think, is it better to go off by myself and try and pick up some kills? Or is it better to support my team in these very close games? I can understand that the STB-1 won't do very well by going down the slope along the north against the T-54s, a Jagdpanzer E-100 in an undisclosed location. But I do feel by leaving his team right now, he's going to let them all melt. But you can't be everywhere at the same time. Will he find the shot on the T-54? Yes, he will. Great hit there into the side of the Tier 9 Soviet medium tank. Now he spots a Jagdpanzer E-100 that he puts a good shot into the back of. There's also a Jagdtiger on his left. But those T-54s are ripping apart his team. They've now got 6 kills between them. Oh, disaster. SKE didn't quite give enough lead there to secure the shot over the center of the target. And the poor accuracy and aim time of this Tier 10 Japanese medium tank means that he didn't really take as much damage from this situation as I think he would have wanted to. Fair enough, he did 1,000 damage, well, 1,101 damage to the enemy Tier 10 German tank destroyer. But when you catch that number of tanks in the open, right in front of you, and you're in the STB-1, I think you want to connect some more. So now he fires at the artillery. Absolute disaster, 365 damage done there. It was a 50-50 whether he would have killed the Lorraine with his 390 alpha damage. He gets spotted. The Jagdpanther 2 is in an interesting location. Those T-54s that we were talking about earlier are now taking on an IS-7 together. Fantastic play by the T-54s on the enemy team. Big shout out to you two. You've made this game very, very, very interesting. When you've got platoons like this on the enemy team, Tier 10 medium tanks like that, and you have such a pivotal role in your T-54s, you know you're doing something right. I'd also like to thank them as well, because it's going to make the end of this very interesting, well, for myself and also for you guys, the viewers. And that's because SKE is now 1 versus 6. Make that 1 versus 5. Great decision there to take out that SPG. You don't want to leave an artillery alive in the game when you have to take out so many tanks and so many hit points on the enemy team. A heat round whizzes into his tank, very likely to be from the T-54. He knows now that the T-54s are coming for him. But he needs to keep dishing out the damage. He goes for the Jagdpanther, a second shot, connects it in, and that means that he only needs to hit one more decent round into the Jagdpanther 2, and he'll have removed that Tier 8 German tank destroyer from the game. Where are... what? He's also got to think, well, at the moment the enemy could be capping. They've got 5 tanks left. All that has to happen is the Jagdpanzer E-100, Jagdtiger or T-54 rolls into the cap, and that will be it. But it looks like the enemy are going to try and press their advantage. With a lot of greed, they're coming right after him. We spot the first T-54, those guys who've got 7 kills behind them and have been carrying this game together. They YOLO in! The first shot connects from SKE. Now there's a T-54 behind him as well. It doesn't look like he quite spots him yet. Don't think he's seen him. I don't think he knows there's a guy behind him. But that doesn't matter because he manages to connect the shot into Hunter Destroyer on the enemy team, finishing him off. And this T-54 has just mistimed their push. What a shame for those T-54s. They were having such a great game. They got greedy, very, very, very greedy. And that means that SKE is now in a great situation. The Jagdpanther, too, obviously got fed up of either missing his AP shells or bouncing them, not finding a weak point on the STB-1, and so he's loaded an high explosive shell, but it does minimal damage. So the fairly okay frontal armor of the STB-1. So SKE must be thanking his lucky stars right now that he has been gifted an opportunity to come back into this game. 7 kills, 8,750 damage, and he's not even done yet. What is he going to do here? So he's got to be thinking, well, I put a lot of shells into that Jagdpanzer 100 earlier, but if he uses a mod pack such as mine, he'll know that the Jagdtiger, when he was last spotted, has 1,800 hit points remaining. And even though the STB-1 has got a fantastic 7.5 rate of fire, still going to have to shoot a Jagdtiger a lot to be able to take him down. Manages to catch a glimpse of the enemy Jagdpanzer 100, who probably has 6th sense, and so rolls back down the slope thinking he's been spotted. SKE takes in a chancy shot there. Didn't quite see if that connected, but the Jagdpanzer 100 is now down to 832 hit points. More often than not, you're going to have to put 3 shots into that tank to take him down. He has to be his priority right now. In these 2 versus 1 situations, when you're in a medium tank facing down tank destroyers, obviously you want to either catch them at a range where you can see them and they can't see you, or try and get into a close quarters situation. And it looks like SKE is trying to do either of those. He's using these bushes. He's decided he wants to press his advantage right now. He obviously feels some momentum with the last 4 kills that he's picked up. He's going to go and try and find this Jagdpanzer 100 below him. He's not there. I would be thinking right now, where's this Jagdtiger? Where is this Jagdtiger? The one that was on full health and last spotted in the northwestern corner of the map. To be able to win against these tank destroyers, he's going to have to find them quickly. He's only got 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the game, with a lot of hit points left on the enemy team. He finds the Jagdtiger, but he also gets spotted as well. How is he going to win this situation with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left? Where's the Jagdpanzer 100? He thinks that maybe they're trying to attack him in a pincer formation, but he doesn't spot him. Oh my word, the Jagdpanzer 100 is right behind him and he narrowly manages to evade the fire. He puts a good heat round there through the cheeks of the superstructure of the Jagdpanzer 100, and he comes back for some more. He's been quite risky here. 1 minute and 45 seconds left on the game now. Where is that Jagdtiger who was last spotted? He's deciding he wants to go all in. He's going all in, literally guts for glory here. Jagdpanzer E100 was still looking up the slope and is turning around very slowly here. They are on the sands of El Haluf. That means their track traverse is very poor. Oh my word, SK skies a shot into the side of a Jagdpanzer E100. This is absolutely beautiful as he has these high-tier German tank destroyers pirouetting. He goes all in on the side of the Jagdtiger, takes the shot. That was quite risky. If the Jagdtiger had set him on fire, this would be a very different situation. But with 1 minute left on the game, he couldn't mess around. And from here on, some tight shots into the tracks of the Jagdtiger. Even though he instantly repairs, it looks like his engine might be damaged, and that allows SKE to track him. And this is a very satisfying moment where you know you have outplayed and outperformed your opponents and left them helpless. So talk about having to carry. SKE had to use the full flexibility of the STB-1 to pull off 11,000 damage and 9 kills to be able to come through this one with a win, going 1 versus 6, including at least one tier 10 opponent against him and some T-54s that had some huge momentum behind them. What a fantastic result for you, and thank you so much for sending this replay in. It really is a combination of best-in-class stats, such as the rate of fire on this 150mm, the 10 degrees of gun depression, the best you can get on any tier 10 tank in the game, as well as a lovely amount of mobility and enough hull armor to at least force your enemies to aim at you. That makes the STB-1 such a powerhouse, and SKE really has mastered this tank, having his third hatchet mark on it. What a result! Let's just see if we can find out anything more about this battle in the post-game stats. So what a result for SKE here. He managed to get a crucial contribution medal for his platoon. Let's see how many kills they picked up. Wow, yeah, 1 kill for Balesund and 2 kills for Udashi Poi. SKE certainly fed you this one, guys. He also got a Radley Walters medal for his 9 kills, the high caliber medal, and surprisingly for his 11,000 damage, a tank sniper medal, because he did a lot of that damage from long range, and the one that everybody wants, the Kolobanov's medal, for standing alone against at least 5 opponents. A serious achievement in a tier 10 round. To pull off this 11,382 damage, it required SKE to fire 47 shots, of which 41 hit the target and 33 penetrated. Now, those might not sound like the most remarkable accuracy/penetration ratios, but that's just the way that it goes sometimes in the STB-1. And SKE had to take some real chancy shots and even some blind shots to try and do everything that he can to win this game. One thing that we should note is that the STB-1 managed to block 1,690 damage this game, taking 8 hits and only 4 of those penetrated against some rather high penetration guns. And that really is why everyone that gets their hands on this tier 10 Japanese medium tank seems to love it. SKE, thank you so much for sending me this replay. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm going to be giving it a big thumbs up on the replay website, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video as well. If you did, please consider liking this video down below, and if you want to see another crazy game in the STB-1, then simply click up here and you can go through to Alin Sebi having a huge round in his STB-1, and no spoilers there, but you should definitely go and check it out. And let me know in the comments down below, what is your favorite tier 10 medium tank and why, and how do you feel this tank compares to, say, maybe the FV4202, the Object 140, and the Leopard 1, tanks which kind of directly try and compete with it. And also, just to mention, I am back to my live streaming schedule, so hopefully I'll see you guys on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby tonight. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.